Uvalenga magwala kwelintaba wo.
Uvalenga magwala kwelintaba. Umayebona sekufika intethele ukuthi namhlanje.
Sunborn Bafundi. Today we're going to look in lesson 9 at recent and distant past tenses. Yes, it is different. In Zulu there are 2 past tenses, and you could say, going back to the previous one, you could say the near past tense, yesterday, this morning type of thing, and then the remote past tense, which is, well, there is no law for remote past tense. It could be the day before yesterday, it could be last week, etc. It just goes by feel. So here are some examples. Ngihambe ekuseni. I went this morning. That would be the recent past tense. Notice the emphasis on the E at the end of the word Ngihambe. Ngihambe ekuseni. It's not Ngihambe ekuseni, but Ngihambe ekuseni. The difference would be that in the past tense it becomes ngahamba. Ngahamba. It becomes nga instead of ngi, which is actually present tense, but because it's recent past tense it stays ngi, and then the emphasis goes on to the E. So, ngahamba edolobheni. Dolobheni means to town. That's distant past tense. Now let me explain how that all works. I'll explain after this slide. Ufike nini? Again the E, ufike nini. When did you arrive? Recent past tense. If you change that into distant past tense, it becomes wafika nini. When did you arrive? Same sentence, but it's referring here to the past tense. And this is how it works. Distant past tense works with the A being assimilated into the vowel of the subject morpheme, or the correct prefix. So let's look at, now this is just for distant past tense. You need to work it out, and it literally is a combination of A every time. There's the A. So, umuntu wahamba, distant past tense, is because you plus the A. A is always there as the prefix. The 2 combined become wa, and it is always like that. Don't ask me why, but that's just how it is. It is because in Zulu you can't add a vowel to another vowel, and so they have to change it with something in between, and you'll see later on the different ones, but there's always the a, so it becomes wa hamba. If you change that to the plural, abantu bahamba, is because the ba, which is the prefix for abantu, becomes ba because simply is added to an a, and therefore it does not change. So it is abantu bahamba. And then let's see, here's an example. Ihashi lagula, distant past tense again. If it was recent past tense, it would become ihashi ligule ekuseni, or whatever it is. But here, distant past tense is because the li, which is the prefix, or the morpheme for the horse, ihashi, remember it is ili, and added to a, the a is stronger than the I, and it becomes la. So it is the horse got sick. Notice the spelling, it's not a spelling mistake, it's a double H. It is hardly ever used in Zulu, and even some Zulus will misspell this word as having just 1 H. And because it has 2 H's, it is pronounced in a slightly longer way. Instead of ihashi, it is ihashi lagula. If you change that to the plural, it would be amahashi agula. You would then add a plus a, simply stays as a. The horses became sick. Now I'm not looking at every prefix in the whole of Meinhof's prefix system. I'm just looking at some. So here, if you use the ulu word, the ulu prefix, like for uju is ulu, and a tortoise is also ulu. It is ufudu. So if we say the tortoise ate, it is ufudu luadla. The tortoise ate, and it's because the prefix for ufudu is lu. It's, remember, taken, you don't use the first part of the prefix, you just drop the u part and it's lu. And the lu added to a becomes lua. U plus a becomes takes on the w, so it's lua. And that's why you'd say ufudu luadla. The tortoise ate. If you change that to the plural, remember the plural in the prefix system is izimfudu, not izifudu, but izimfudu. It takes the M just for emphasis. So izimfudu zadla. Remember, distant past tense. The tortoises ate. And this is because the prefix being z is added to the a and it becomes za. So, in other words, z plus a becomes za. Let me say that again. Izimfudu zadla. The tortoises ate. I usually try to end the lesson with some proverb or idiom. Here's quite a famous one. Iva likishwa gelinye, which literally means a thorn is removed by another thorn. Iva likishwa gelinye, which could be explained like this. A painful thing is only removed by another painful thing. A thorn removed by a thorn. For instance, a criminal act must be answered with something painful, like jail. So here you have then the jailbird, because of the thorn must be removed by another thorn. Something inhumane is answered with something also slightly inhumane. Now, to keep with the lesson about past tenses, you would say, Iva likishwe gelinye. Of course, we don't say that as a proverb, but if you, just for the sake of the lesson, this would be the recent past tense. Remember, the emphasis is on the e. Iva likishwe gelinye. So that would be recent past tense. But if you want to say the distant past tense, it would be Iva lakishwa gelinye. The thorn was removed by another thorn. But of course, a Zulu proverb always stays in the tense in which it is known by. You can never change it, but it's just for the sake of the lesson that I've shown you here recent past tense and distant past tense. Salani kahle bafundi. Goodbye, students.
Uvalenga magwala kwelintaba wo.
Uvalenga magwala kwelintaba.
Umayebo
nasekufika.
Ufike tele.
Wesitshela ukuthi